This is everything you need to know about what happens when you make a high ticket dropshipping sale, and most importantly, how the shipping works once you do get an order for your dropshipping store. So, for those that are watching, I know you're interested in e-commerce or dropshipping, and I know your time is valuable. So, instead of taking a week to make a fancy video with great production, I just took the time and energy to make this training as valuable as I can. I want to give you guys the sauce. And for those wondering why you should believe me in the first place, I've made over $2 million in dropshipping, and I've helped others achieve success in high ticket e-commerce. If we go to this link over here is a page of all of the results. We have them on video with me and my business partner, Trevor. And I'm not going to go and scroll down through all of these because there's just so many. But I also want to show you guys in real time one of these stores that, I'm currently working on. So this is pretty much my Shopify dashboard. As you could see right now as I'm recording this, it is April 18th, 2024. I just did a hard refresh. We already passed $200,000 in sales with about 25% net margin. So that's about 40K so far in profit just from this store. And this is pretty much the high ticket dropshipping store that I'm running. We have a returning customer rate of 12%, about 103 orders. And again, this is just one of the many stores that I currently have. So now that we got that out of the way, my promise for you today by the end of this video is that you will know exactly the system and processes that take place once you make a sale for your high ticket dropshipping store. And the reason I'm doing all of this is because a lot of people are still ignorant on how dropshipping really works. But most importantly, because all of these dropshipping gurus are still feeding the internet information from 2015, but I'm here to change all of that. You see, the gurus don't tell you that dropshipping is a real business. It's something that you guys have to do the right way, and that's why I wish I had a video like this when I first started dropshipping. If you're new to dropshipping, or if you've already dropshipped before, you've probably heard of the word supplier, and this is pretty much someone who sources and supplies the actual product for you. Here are some examples of some suppliers. So the old way of finding suppliers is by going on AliExpress and looking through and finding all of these products that you could infinitely scroll through, or you could use sourcing agents like Zheng. But these are the old ways of dropshipping that many gurus are still trying to teach and preach, and quite frankly, it just doesn't work. Instead, I use this business model known as high ticket dropshipping, and this is the new way of working with suppliers. Instead of looking for cheap AliExpress China suppliers, you want to look for United States based, high reputable brands that have a dealer network. And now this isn't the only supplier that has these types of programs, so don't just go ahead and start applying and just spamming this supplier. There are tons of other brands out there that have these types of programs, and if you continue watching through this video and you just follow me through my channel, you will know and find a lot more. But that's pretty much the old way and the new way of dropshipping. And the most important thing for you to know is that when it comes to dropshipping, having a good supplier is going to make or break your business. You see, the supplier's job is to give you products that you could sell on the market and have them sent to your customers in a short amount of time. However, most dropshippers rely on suppliers that are just not trustworthy, and some may end up even scamming you. And this is the exact case that I had. Because when I first started off dropshipping, I was finding products and suppliers on AliExpress. I was contacting and speaking with this private vendor from China. And let me tell you what happened. I ended up getting juked. I ended up getting destroyed with fake tracking, poor communication, and my business crumbled practically overnight. But, I'm here to save you guys that trouble. And the reason I'm even explaining all of these differences between the old and new ways of finding suppliers is because your supplier is pretty much 50% of your business. Most beginners, most people looking into e-commerce are thinking that you just need to get the ads good. You have to just get the winning ad or the winning product. But you don't realize how important a supplier is for the growth and the scaling opportunities of your business. It's literally 50% of your business. And if you don't have a reputable supplier or you're not working with legitimate vendors, you will ultimately end up with bad customer service for your customers, chargebacks and returns. So chargebacks are pretty much when emails and phone calls blowing up your customer service line, and overall just a bad experience and taste to the customer's mouth. And in the end, that's going to end up hurting your business all because most dropshippers don't know where to find the right product sourcing. If you guys want me to make another video on how to find winning products to sell in 2024, make sure you leave a comment and also like, comment, subscribe if you find value in today's content. With that being said, it's important to have a supplier that can fulfill your order because a big problem that most dropshippers in the game face will be negligent and incompetent suppliers, which basically means even if you send emails to a supplier or you try to follow up with them as best as possible, they're not shipping your orders, they're giving you fake tracking numbers, they're taking your money and most importantly, your time, and they're just screwing you over. And for you to avoid these headaches and disasters in the first place, you need to work with suppliers that are reputable, which is why I do high ticket dropshipping. High ticket dropshipping is me selling these $1,000 products over here instead of selling these small $11, $10, $5 AliExpress products. I work with reputable brands that will fulfill my orders and I have less customers to deal with and more profit margin per sale. So the question of the video, the question of the day, Marcus, get to the damn point, is what happens when you do get a sale on a dropshipping store? So let me explain to you. Normally, the traditional dropshipping route is you would go use AliExpress to find a supplier to ship out your product. You'll basically find a product just like this. Maybe you've seen this product before. I know I have. And these Astrolight projectors are going for $349, probably selling it for like $19.97. You can see there's over 10,000 sold. And you would pretty much just place orders with your AliExpress supplier, work with vendors, try to find a private vendor and scale and improve your logistics and all of that fun stuff. However, with high ticket dropshipping, you could place orders instead of AliExpress. You could use a vendor portal, which I'll show you later into this video. You could send emails to your customer support rep for the particular order. You could create contracts and agreements to make sure the order goes through. So I'm going to go and give you guys some example of how a dealer portal looks like, of how a product catalog looks like. And so this will hopefully give you a better understanding of how things are working. Okay, so this is an example of the product catalog. And the reason I'm just showing you guys this is because a lot of you guys are asking me, oh, so when you do get a supplier to work with you, like how do you even buy products off of them? Like how does all of that stuff work? So I'm showing you guys literally, this is one of the brands that I've worked with, I've partnered up with, and you could see they sell the item for a map cost of $19.98 and we'll get it for $12.35. That's around a $700 profit margin for just this one order. You could see another one where it's $2,650. That's our cost. And then we get a sale of $3,796. That's about $1,100 profit take home margin. So this is just how the catalogs look like when, you know, the suppliers send us the information. But in terms of what happens when we get a order, you could use dealer portals. So dealer portals is pretty much another website that your supplier is giving you to order from them. Like pretty much you see over here, dropshipping available. You literally just log in. They'll set up an account with you. You log in and you might get some special pricings. For example, this is another example that I have from one of my brands. It's you sell the item for $1,349. You get it for $1,000. You sell this for $5,500. You get it for $4,000. So it's about $1,100 profit margin for this, about $200 for here, another $200 for here. And that is how it looks like when we go ahead and we get orders for the supplier. And you'll notice that we're selling for MAP policy. And for anyone wondering, MAP policy stands for minimum advertising price. So I know a lot of people ask me, oh, Marcus, how do you handle pricing when it comes to marketing and selling these products? Like, how do you avoid price wars? How do you avoid competition, not trying to undercut you and just fighting with price? Because I know pricing is a lot when it comes to business. So when it comes to pricing, your suppliers have to have MAP policy. MAP policy stands for minimum advertising price. And an example of minimum advertising price is like this. If someone's searching for a product, let's say Sunray Saunas, make sure you guys drop a like if you guys like the content you're seeing right now. But you could see Sunray Saunas has 2,596 as the MAP pricing, 2,596. And all of the people that are selling it, whether they're a drop shipper, whether they're a dealer, which is pretty much the same thing, we're all only able to sell it for this certain pricing. So that is what happens when you work with a supplier that has MAP policy. They don't let you go below a certain price point. You can see over here, this is the map that we have to follow. We could sell it for above, you could sell it for higher, but you can't go below this price point. And then once you get orders, you go into the portals that they give you, or you could send an email to the supplier. So the question is, what happens when an order is placed? I'll give you guys a real life example that was here since December 29 of 2020, which is very interesting because I've been doing high ticket dropshipping for like 4 years now, and it doesn't feel like that. But nevertheless, I have been doing this for a very long time. And so one of the suppliers that I first worked with was Dundalk Sauna. Again, another supplier for you guys to apply and go into the sauna niche. But anyways, I got this order for $4,833. And I also want to point out for you guys, make sure when you guys are calculating your profit and losses, you want to account for the 2.7 to 3.7% transaction fee when you are using whether that's Shopify payments or Stripe, because these merchants will take a certain like 2% fee from every payout. So even though I get 4,833, I'm actually only getting paid 4,693. So you have to make sure that those numbers are precise. But pretty much this is what happened. So I got an order for this client that obviously I cannot show you their information, but I went ahead and I emailed the supplier on the day after. So December 30th, maybe it's the same day. No, it's the day after. So I was a little bit lazy. I could have done it on the day of, but I don't know why. But I pretty much just went ahead and I believe I called them. So I said, thank you for the quick morning call. And I went ahead and I just placed the order. So what I did was I sent the customer information, which I blurred out, and I told them the model of the item that I'm trying to buy. And it's as straightforward as that, guys. And what ended up happening once they saw the order was they responded to me. They said, thank you for your order. Please review the attached confirmation. So the supplier will send me a price quote for me to match this with how much I got it for. So I always make sure that I'm super positive when I do fulfill an order, meaning when I do take this client's like payment over here, I just gotta make sure that, I'm positive, right? So I go ahead and I just confirmed, said everything looks good. And there was actually a little problem with the pricing. So it looks like they listed it for a certain amount and there was a misunderstanding. Regardless, blah, blah, blah. They sold it for a certain amount. So this is what also happens in the behind the scenes with a supplier, meaning, there might be some complications or there might be some miscommunications. It is your duty as the high ticket dropshipper, as the authorized dealer, to make sure that your P&Ls are taken care of, but most importantly, to make sure that you're positive and your customers are taken care of first and foremost. I always go above and beyond for my clients because I know that if I don't, then it's going to backfire on my business long term. So I'll just always be the one spamming the emails to my suppliers, and I'll call them and I'll just follow up and I'll do my due diligence because it is my responsibility, because the customer trusted me with their hard-earned money, thousands of dollars, for me to take care of their orders as a dealer. And it is my job to make sure the communication is as clean as possible. And that is why we are one of the best high ticket dropshipping programs out there, because compared to the other dropshipping programs that I don't know how much they care about their customers, but I care about every single customer that comes my way. I learned from the hard way of going into debt and almost bankruptcy that you have to care for one customer so you could care for thousands and hundreds of thousands. So I prime my entire core basis of all of my business operations into having exceptional customer service, not just with my e-commerce stores, but with my PeakFlow coaching program as well. So for those that are wondering, if you want access to one-on-one mentorship, I have an application down below. We only accept 5 students every single month, and we help them get to $10,000 a month profit, which is about $50,000 in revenue for your high-ticket e-commerce store. And we work with you for free until you get there. So just check the application down below if any of this piques your interest. But moving forward, this is pretty much how it looks like. Once you receive the okay or the confirmation from your supplier and pretty much you get the tracking number, you could go ahead and just put the tracking number and paste it into your Shopify dashboard. Just put the tracking number here, and then your customer should receive some emails, and whatever communication channels that you put into place, they probably will receive some emails. Honestly, if you could, you should give them a call, because if they're paying you $4 or $5 grand, you should go ahead and call them. So I have my VAs call and just alert the customers when their order has shipped. And it's a little more extra work. But again, that customer experience is what matters to me. So I make sure that every client that comes my way, every client that trusts me and my high ticket stores, I will go above and beyond for them. And so to conclude this video, the reason I like to use the high ticket dropshipping business is simply because I could handle and organize each order as I'm starting to get more orders. The traditional models, which I had to learn the hard way, is you'll have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of orders, and they're all clients that paid you and they expect the product really fast, and it's going to be hard for you to talk to 1,000 clients or 10,000 clients at scale every single day. So one of the biggest problems most dropshippers face is that they're handling too much volume of sales, and the leads and everything that you need to run a $100,000 a month business is end up backfiring a lot of dropshippers because they can't handle the customer flow, the lead flow. They just can't handle the bandwidth to actually sustain the business, which is what I was going through in the very beginning of building up my e-commerce stores. But obviously, I found high ticket dropshipping, and honestly, luckily for you guys have a lot of more authority figures in the high ticket dropshipping space. When I first started, there weren't that many YouTube videos and there weren't that many people that really understood the business model, and took a lot of time, effort, money to just attain these informations. But now with high ticket dropshipping, I deal with less orders, more profit margins, better suppliers, and I can actually maintain and scale my store. Some suppliers could be as simple as just buying it off their dealer portal and they'll send you a tracking number, or it might be a little tedious of sending emails to your supplier to just get that sale figured out. And whatever approach you guys do, I just want to let you guys know that internet money is real, dropshipping is awesome, and selling high ticket will change your life. Make sure you guys apply for the mentorship program if that does interest you. And thank you all so much for your time for this video. I'll see you guys all in the next one.